Hey everyone, welcome back to another OutSystems Quick Tips. Today we are diving into the exciting world of exception handling in OutSystems. Whether you are a newbie or a pro, stick around because we have great tips to help you handle those annoying exceptions. Let's get started. First, what is exception handling? It is how we deal with the errors that pop up during runtime. OutSystems gives us a robust mechanism to catch and handle these exceptions, ensuring our app stays smooth and our users happy. In OutSystems, exceptions are your application's way of saying, uh-oh, something went wrong. But do not worry, we have this covered. Let's dive into the several types of exceptions you might come across. In the first place, we have all exceptions, the most generic handler. Then we have the user exceptions. These are the ones you define and they are the custom exception treatments. After that, we have the database exceptions. You use this when something goes wrong with your queries. Then security exceptions for when there is a breach in security protocols. Finally, we have the communications exceptions for problems with integrations or service calls. Remember, each type of exception can give you specific details about what went wrong. Let's wrap up with some best practices. First one is log everything. Always log exceptions with detailed messages. This helps with debugging and maintenance. Secondly, user-friendly messages. Show user-friendly error messages instead of technical error messages. Users should know what went wrong and what to do next. Getting technical messages is very convoluted and confusing for the user. In third place, there is granular handling. Here, you can handle exceptions as close to the source as possible. This makes your app more robust and easier to debug. Now, let's get into the essentials and figure out how to handle these exceptions. In OutSystems, you can use the exception handler to manage errors at different levels, from a global exceptions that affect the entire applications to local exceptions in specific actions or screens. Now a pro tip to you guys, always start by handling exceptions at the most granular level possible. This will give you more control and help you manage specific errors more effectively. Then, integrations can be a bit tricky. When dealing with external services, exceptions can arise from communication failures or unexpected responses. OutSystems lets you handle these by using the onException event of the REST or SOAP integration. Another pro tip is to always log the exception details when dealing with integrations. This makes it easier to debug and understand what went wrong. When it comes to the database transactions, if an error occurs during a transaction, you need to ensure that the database stays in a consistent state. OutSystems handles this with the built-in support for transaction management. By default, OutSystems exception handler element will abort the current transaction when an error occurs. You can use the abort transaction property to decide whether a transaction should roll back on an exception or not. Set the value to false if you want the application to continue executing code after getting an exception caught. If not, you can just put it on true. Let's check other quick tips for this. Centralized error handling. Consider implementing a centralized error handling mechanism where exceptions are logged and managed in one place. This simplifies maintenance and ensures consistent handling across the application. Then monitor exception trends. Regularly analyze your application logs for patterns or frequent exceptions. Use this data to improve your application stability and performance by addressing the common issues. That is all for today. Please leave us any doubts in the comments so we can help you, and subscribe to Ruption on YouTube or any other social media pages. Stay tuned for more quick tips and see you next time.